Hello, it's Jeanette with Geomazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm back with another video tutorial using Stampin' Up! Products. And today, because it's the close to the end of the year, I decided that these are the gifts I'm going to give to my customers who came shopping with me in December. Aren't these pretty? They're little calendars that I made. I made these little calendars on the computer and cut them out and stuck them together. But I want to show you how easy it is to do this little calendar card. And it does stand up, see? It stands up like a little tent because it's a tent for the card. And if you see, there's a little mechanism on the inside to make it stand up and not fold back in. Okay, so let me quickly show you how to do that. I'm using a couple of stamp sets and a couple of die sets and some cardstock. Now this is the thick Whisper White cardstock that I cut. This is cut 4 1/4 by 11 and I scored it at 5 1/2. Okay, and then you're going to need a piece of cardstock, and I'm using Night of Navy, and you see I cut something out of the middle of it, and that's going to be okay. And this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inch, and that's going to layer on here. And then I'm also going to use a piece of designer series paper that comes from the Naturally Eclectic DSP collection. It's so pretty. It's got a lot of colors on it. I want it to make this nice and colorful so that it's not so festive, but for all year long. And then I'm going to put the calendar here and some sentiment here. So let's do the sentiment right now. Okay, I'm going to just take some Whisper White cardstock, and the sentiment that I'm going to use comes from the Wild About Flowers stamp set. It's the one that says, "May the very best life holds for you be yours in the days and years ahead." And I thought that was a really nice sentiment for this little card. And I'm going to be using some Night of Navy. That's the color that's in this designer series paper. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to use my little Stampin' Piercing mat so that I can get a really good impression, since this is a photopolymer stamp. Okay, so let's just go ahead and stamp, and I'm giving it enough room for me to do the die cut. I'm going to be die cutting it with one of the layering ovals. See that really fast? Oh, good. I still got a really good impression on there. Okay, and then I'm going to also, if you notice on here, where are my cards? I've got some flowers and leaves around here. I'm going to stamp that with the, what is the name of this stamp set? It's called the Beautiful Bouquet. I'm just going to be using this little stamp here with the stamen and one of these little leaves. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that with some Peekaboo Peach stamp ink. Trying to put things away here. Okay, Peekaboo Peach. Let me put this Night of Navy away for right now. Okay, so I've got this on my block. This block it's a little bit big for this one, but it's block C. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it right here. And I'm going to do 3 of them. That one didn't turn out so good, but that's okay. I've already got these stamped. A bunch of these already stamped. I'll go ahead and use that. And so for the stamen, I decided that I'm going to use the Emerald Envy, because that's another one of the colors that's in this designer series paper. And I'm using this tiny little stamen. Okay, right there, and right there. Okay, and I'm also using the Emerald Envy for this little leaf here. So we're going 1, 2, and 3. We're just going to use 3 leaves. You can put as many leaves as you want. Of course, you can decorate this as much or as little as you want. And now the 2 dies from the layering ovals that I use is the 4th one in size, from the smallest to the largest. That's this one, and that's what I've done here with this cardstock rather, is I cut out this oval so that I could have a background for my little sentiment here. And I've already cut the sentiment out. I'm not going to waste any time by showing you, but the die set that you can get along with this beautiful bouquet, if you buy them both together, look at all these dies you get. You'll save 10% when you buy them as a bundle. Okay, and I'm going to be using, or I've used this die here and this die here for the leaves, but I've already cut them out on the Big Shot to save some time. Okay, so I'll just cut those out later. All right, and I used also on these layering ovals, I also used the number 4 size for the sentiment. That was like perfect for that sentiment. Okay, and I'm going to take a sponge dauber and use the Night of Navy just to sponge around the edge of this little oval. It just kind of gives it a little bit of oomph. I don't know. I just like to sponge around the edges of things. That is just me. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. You could even sponge it with a different color if you want. Or you could even use another one of the scalloped ovals. See how pretty that looks? I don't know if you can see that or not. In real life, it looks really nice. Okay, so we're done with that. Okay, now I'm going to take this away since I'm done with stamping, and I'm going to use some, I think I'm going to use some Fast Fuse, a little bit of Fast Fuse on here, just to put this in front of here. Isn't that a nice little backing for that? Try to get it centered. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and start putting the card together. Okay, so I think I'm not going to use Fast Fuse because I'm always sticking it a little prematurely. So what I'm going to use is some multi-purpose liquid glue, this Tombow Mono adhesive, and I'm just going to put some on the back of this card. And this gives you a little bit of time to position it on your card. Okay, and make sure you have your card where you're gonna, when you close it, it's gonna be a tent. Okay, so see, I have a little bit of time to position it on my card here. Okay, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and use some Snail Adhesive for this one here, if I have enough Snail Adhesive in here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this right here. Snail Adhesive is not as sticky. It's a very strong adhesive, but it's not as bad as the Fast Fuse. Oh my goodness, Fast Fuse. So strong. Okay, and that's what I'm going to put some Fast Fuse on the back of this little calendar. Now, like I said, I made these little calendars and cut them out. What I have for these little calendars is a program which I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of. It's called CorelDRAW. And in CorelDRAW, it has a macro that has like a calendar wizard. And you can make calendars of all different sizes, and you take it into, you know, once you create your calendar, you can resize it, you can change the fonts, you can change the colors, and you could even cut out each number if you want to, if you have that capability. But I just print them out, and I cut them out, and to make sure that I cut them out perfectly, I used my brother's Scan and Cut. But you could also size it to where you could use one of your layering squares if you have the dies. So if you have somebody who has access to that program, that CorelDRAW, it's an amazing program, and I use it all the time for a lot of things that I like to draw. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I stuck this down right on the bottom. I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this. Okay, just 2. I could probably use 3, but I'm just going to put 2. Get that off. And I'm going to try to center it the best I can here. Straight as I can. Okay, like that. Okay, and now it's time to put the flowers on. Like I said, I've already cut them out. Stuck them in a little tray here. I've got flowers and leaves, and I'm going to use 3 of each. And I'm going to be using the smaller of the Stampin' Dimensionals. Look how cute these are. They're so tiny. Now I just need to find my my little paper piercing tool, which I did have right here. I put it away. I always put it away and forget that I put it away. Okay, so I'm just going to lift that up because they're a little sticky. Sometimes you just need a little bit of help getting them off this thing. And then I kind of poke it, and then I'm going to just turn it around and put one on each one of these little flowers. So lift it up and then poke it, and then you can get it off the little backer sheet. That's just how I do it. Okay, I mean, it's just something that has helped me in the past to get these things off. And then I am going to go ahead and start putting these on here. I made a little boo-boo with my coloring the edges, so I think I'm going to just cover that up with a flower. And then I'm going to go ahead and put another flower on here. Okay, just about right here. And I think I'm going to take some glue dots for the leaves, and I will, let's see, take one leaf here. I'll put a leaf right here, and then I'll put one more leaf. Take another glue dot, and I'll put another leaf right here on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to put the one flower on the other side like that, and then just put one more leaf. I don't want to excuse me, I don't want to make it too flowery, but I think 3 flowers is just enough. All right, there we go. So 3 leaves and 3 flowers. Okay, now let's do the inside to make it, you know, stand up. And so what I have here is a little piece of cardstock that measures 1/2 inch by 4 inches. And I'm going to just fold this in half, and then I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to take these flaps and fold it right like this. So you kind of make like a concertina, or I call it my M, or a W, but I call it my M. And that's the way I'm going to be putting it on. I'm going to take some fast fuse. Okay. It's a little bit of fast fuse. I'm going to open up my card. Okay, and I'm going to set it right in the center, as close to the center as possible. You can measure to be precise if you want to. Then I'm going to put a little bit more fast fuse on here. I'm going to close it up. And I'm all done. Okay? Isn't that pretty? Well, I hope that you try this. Give out some calendars to your friends and family. Around this time of year, everybody's looking forward to the year to come. So I hope that you're going to try this or try something similar to this. It's so easy peasy to do. Okay, and once again, this is Jeanette with Geomazing Paper Crafts, and if you need any tools and supplies, you know where to go, www.geomazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net. And you make it a great day. Bye-bye.